From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Tuesday morning. We're still tracking the two wildfires burning within the region, so we'll go ahead and get right into it, starting off with the Tiger Creek fire that's burning outside of Milton Freewater. This one is now 84% contained. Remember, just back on Friday, it was, I think, 19% contained, so we have made, well, I haven't made, but the firefighters out there have made some excellent progress on this, so hopefully we can wrap that one up. We have a lot more work to go, a lot more work to do, and a longer way to go for the Williams Mine fires. This one is now at, well, it's still at 42% containment, but with some of the cooler and wetter weather on the way, I am thinking that the containment should jump up. Temperatures this morning in the 40s and 50s, 52 for Walla Walla, 48 for the Tri-Cities, 47 degrees for Sunnyside. So you'll need a light jacket this morning, at least as you're walking out the front door. And into this afternoon and evening, maybe you would need a rain jacket, and maybe you would want to hold on to it in a Wednesday and Thursday as rain chances hang around. And in the wake of this storm system, we trend much cooler. So I'll tell you how much rainfall we're expecting, and I'll tell you just how cool we'll get. That's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, the Yakima County Board of Commissioners is requesting Coroner Jim Curtis resign from his office immediately, why they believe he's no longer fit for the job. And the first shelter for young people experiencing homelessness in Yakima is now officially open. We have a behind-the-scenes look. And low blood supply nationwide from back-to-back hurricanes is affecting us here in Washington. How it all ties together is coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. It is Tuesday, October 15th. We have a lot to get to this morning, so we're going to go ahead and start off with a follow-up. The Yakima County Board of Commissioners votes to sign a letter requesting Coroner Jim Curtis to resign from his office immediately. Now, this comes as Curtis is under investigation for tampering with evidence, making false statements, and also for official misconduct. Authorities say he claims that someone tried to poison him with drugs for several weeks. However, police say they have evidence that he made the story up. The letter from the commissioner says the board no longer trusts Curtis nor his abilities to perform his duty as coroner. And one of the commissioners, Amanda McKinney, elaborates on why she believes this is the right step.
I believe that because there is, rather unfortunately, such a distrust at times in government and elected officials, that when there is activity that happens or behaviors that are demonstrated that have caused the public's confidence to falter, that it is our responsibility to call those out.
All of the commissioners approved the letter. To learn more about the information behind the investigation into Curtis, you can head to our website. Turning to Yakima, Rod's House is celebrating the grand opening of its Hope Center shelter. This is the first licensed facility in the area that will provide year-round shelter for youth and young adults that are experiencing unsafe or unhealthy living conditions. Riley Fitzgerald has how these shelters will impact the rest of their lives.
Rod's House's Hope Center shelters are meant to be a safe haven for young people. This solution is meant to help solve the complex and unfortunately frequent problem of youth homelessness.
It's very high. I myself experienced youth homelessness, so I know that it goes unnoticed. We are super excited to be able to provide that safe space for a lot of the youth here who are couch surfing or maybe doubled up with friends or family.
It's two separate facilities for youth and young adults, but in the same big building. People aged 13 to 24 are welcome to access the resources available, including a supportive environment, access to services like housing support, mental health care, educational resources, and substance use disorder support.
I hope that they can take with them life skills, that they can be empowered to be themselves, and that they know that somebody's always in their corner.
For youth, the state mandates no more than 30-day stays. There is then aftercare services for as long as they're needed, with no timeline. Young adults can stay up to 120 days.
They deserve a place that offers hope, that supports them to thrive, and that allows a safe place to lie their head, get a meal, and where they're seen and appreciated for who they are and for what they can be.
A key piece in supporting the teens and young adults will be the staff present. There are dedicated case management and behavioral staff available on-site 24/7 for support and guidance.
We've established an office in state government for youth homelessness. We've increased our investment from $1 million to about $10 million, and we've seeded investments like this across the state of Washington. As a result of those investments, I am very pleased to say that we have reduced youth homelessness in the last several years in the state of Washington by 40%. That is a major achievement. It's something we can celebrate.
There are 8 beds for youth and 10 for young adults at the Rods House Hope Center shelters, hoping to make a difference in the lives of young people in Yakima. In Yakima, Riley Fitzgerald, Apple Valley News Now.
The Hope Center shelter is located at 1011 East Chestnut Avenue in Yakima, and Rods House officials say they're working on hiring more behavioral health care staff, and they also say the dual facility should be open by January. In a health alert now, as the southern portion of the United States is busy recovering from the devastating hurricanes, it continues to face a critically low blood supply that's now affecting us here in Washington. The Red Cross has thousands of volunteers working with those affected by the storms, and the Red Cross in Washington says they're in need of all types of blood. Ted Beener, a public affairs volunteer with the Red Cross of Washington, says they have shipped out blood to the southeast where people are impacted by Helene and Milton, but they need to fill up the supply in the Pacific Northwest.
More blood is going to be needed in the southeast in the coming days, weeks, and months. So the donation effort for blood needs to continue as we head deeper into this fall.
Beener says another way of helping is financially. Any financial contributions you make go towards helping the volunteers. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, FEMA has resumed its operations in North Carolina after it was forced to pause when a man made threats against FEMA employees. The man has been arrested, and we have the details and the latest developments. But first, Josh will have your weather forecast. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
There was a time when you could get a complete meal for just $5, but you gotta go way back. Well, just a Tuesday. Yes, Tuesdays at A&W, single Papa Burger combos complete with fries and a root beer cost just $5. This all-time great deal is available Tuesdays only at A&W.
Wake up, people! Rotten sleep means rotten moods, rotten backs, rotten health. Rotten breath goes without saying, but you're in luck. Because during the incredible value sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Buena Vista. Any size, any model, and save $100. Or get 60 months no interest and free shipping. Kick that rotten sleep to the curb. Only at Denver Mattress. The easiest way to get the right mattress.
Night Ranger, live in concert, playing all their hits, plus deep cuts from their catalog. Night Ranger, live. Friday, November 15th, 8 p.m., Legends Casino Hotel Toppenish. Tickets at Ticketmaster and Legends Gift Shop. Do not miss Night Ranger, live. Friday, November 15th, Legends Casino Hotel Toppenish.
It's painfully obvious prices have been going up. Inflation is crushing American families, and inflation only has one cause.
Inflation in the United States is made in Washington and nowhere else. The real tax on the American people is what government spends.
And Dan Newhouse has voted for trillions of dollars in spending. As your congressman, I will vote against massive spending bills. Because Americans can't afford a new house. I'm Jared Sussler, and I approve this message.
I saw the chrome bumper right in front of me, and then that's all I remember.
Willie was hit by a dump truck at full speed, and it's been a long recovery.
I decided that I wanted a professional to take care of it, just from the get-go. The companies just try to, drain you.
The truck's insurance company fought us, but I hit them at full speed, and Willie won.
Mariano took care of everything. Don't go with the first guy that sells you unicorns and rainbows. Go with Mariano.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
KFC's fan favorite country fried steak is just $5.99 every Wednesday. It's a complete meal with your favorite sides. Best of all, it's just $5.99. Country fried steak, $5.99 Wednesdays only at KFC.
Smoke City for Less. We are open 7 days a week with now 5 locations.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It is pretty mild out there this morning. I'd say like between cool to mild. 51 in Ellensburg, 53 in Cle Elum. Then in the Yakima Valley, we're seeing temperatures in the 40s and 50s. 46 in Toppenish, 51 for Union Gap, 48 degrees in Yakima. And then in the lower Columbia Basin, the same mixture of temperatures. 48 for the Tri-Cities. We're at 53 in Benton City, 53 degrees in Prosser, 50 for Hermiston. And then in the foothills of the Blue Mountains, it's also 40s and 50s, but we are tracking some 30s up in the higher terrain of the Blues, places like Ukiah and Meacham. Here's your day planner for today. By 8 this morning, still temperatures in the 40s and 50s, 48 in Yakima, 52 for Hermiston, 51 in the Tri-Cities. Room temperature stuff by lunchtime. Once again, 67 in the Tri-Cities, 68 for Hermiston. And then by 4 p.m., we'll continue to be dry for the Yakima Valley, for the basin and the foothills. But this is when showers start to arrive in the Kittitas Valley. And eventually later into the evening, we will start to see some showers potentially into the Yakima Valley and into the basin and the foothills. Okay, so for today will be about 5 degrees above average for this time of the year. 74 in the Tri-Cities, 72 in Walla Walla. Most of us in the 70s for today, partly to mostly cloudy skies. And of course, we'll have some of those shower chances in the Cascades and in the Kittitas Valley. Winds gusting out of the north and west upwards of 20 miles per hour today in the valley. And then for tonight, some of those winds will transfer over into the lower Columbia Basin. Widespread scattered showers at this point, so I'll time out those shower chances. Also, I'll show you how much rainfall we're expecting from this storm system. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. In your national news this morning, FEMA has resumed recovery operations in North Carolina after it was forced to pause aid in several areas that were impacted by Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. Now, they had to pause because of reported threats that were made towards FEMA employees. 44-year-old William Jacob Parsons was arrested over the weekend after authorities said he made a comment about possibly harming FEMA responders that were working in the Lake Lure and Chimney Rock area. They say he was armed with a handgun and a rifle. The threats caused some FEMA offices to close temporarily. It resumed operations to disaster survivors yesterday afternoon. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, a well-known radio personality in Washington and his family had a life-threatening moment when something fell on the road while they were driving and exploded. We have the story in just a few minutes.
You love the internet. But do you love your internet? Is your bundle a bundle of joy? Do you celebrate your contract's anniversary? No? You should meet Ziply Fiber. High-speed fiber optic internet means more freedom, more reliability, more speed on all your family's devices, all at the same time. Happily ever faster. Ziply Fiber. Call 1-888-GO-ZIPLY or visit ziplyfiber.com/GoZiply. Plans as low as $10 a month.
Let Quantum Legal protect you and be your champion on the legal battleground. Whether it's a fight for justice in the face of criminal accusations, personal injury claims, or workplace accidents, Quantum Legal is your unwavering ally. An aggressive offense is your greatest defense. Quantum Legal is the sword and shield you've been seeking. Your best defense, Quantum Legal.
Something is weird. Look around. All possible Triple Play customers are perfectly represented right now.
Wait, really?
There's the family, the group of adult friends, kids on their school trip,
and the first date couple, and the grandparents with their grandkids.
It's just too perfect. I knew it. They're shooting a commercial.
I thought we were better than that.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including go-karts, mini golf, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
We just thought...
If it's hidden, you might get bitten.
Save now with Bi-Mart's latest savings book, including Bi-Mart brand laundry detergent, 254 ounces, hot priced at $14.99. Bi-Mart, saving our members more every day.
I am ready to find the second great love of my life.
The Golden Bachelorette, sponsored locally by Legends Casino Hotel. Fun is how we roll.
It's the last game on the road before the Kraken return home. The team's headed to Nashville, and you can watch with us for free. Kraken Predators, pregame at 4:30 today on Apple Valley News Now.
It's a celebration of love and inspiration.
It was wonderful.
Our dancing stars pay tribute on dedication night.
Plus the return of Derek and Haley Huff.
This was beautiful.
Dancing with the Stars live tonight, 8/7 Central.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We're expecting those showers in the Cascades to eventually arrive into the Kittitas Valley by about 4 p.m., into the Yakima Valley by about 6 p.m., into the Basin by 7 to 8 p.m., and then into the Bluefoot Hills by 9 to 10 p.m. So that's just kind of the generalized progression of the showers moving from west to east for today. We'll show you that with Futurecast. We'll pick up the action actually starting at midnight as we transition into Wednesday, and you'll see that this round is going to exit stage right, but by 8 in the morning on Wednesday we'll have another round. This iteration of Futurecast is suggesting that the Cascades eat up a whole bunch of this, but there are other models that are suggesting that maybe some more showers could get generated to the east of there, and then we'll have another round of some showers up in the Cascades, and those will move off towards the east as well. And those will impact us into the rest of Wednesday. We have more wet weather slated for Thursday as well. So here's some of the rainfall totals we're expecting for Wednesday and Thursday, subject to change, but maybe upwards of an inch for the Cascades, half an inch for the Blues, maybe a quarter of an inch for the Blue Foothills, less than a tenth of an inch for the valleys and for the Basin. And as you maybe saw in Futurecast, there were some blues and some purples, and yeah, snow levels will be dropping, but they'll drop way down from Thursday morning to Friday evening, anywhere between 3,500 to 4,500 feet. So places like Cabbage Hill, Meacham, Ukiah, and points upward could see a little bit of snow, although for all the passes in our area, I would be very surprised if any of them got over an inch of snowfall. But we'll keep a very close eye on things. And snow levels are getting so low because high temperature is getting so low in the Thursday and Friday, down into the low 60s in the Tri-Cities. And then we have another storm system to deal with as we head into the weekend. That one, for now, is looking like it's maybe going to be a little bit wetter up in the Cascades, but not so much for the Blue Mountains, and I think the rain shadow effect is still going to be pretty impactful. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Rain chances go up this evening through Thursday, dry for Friday, but wet weather is going to be possible again this weekend. Cooling off into the low 60s by Thursday and Friday, maybe our first freeze of the season on Thursday night. Then for Yakima, showers possible starting early this evening, continue for Wednesday and Thursday, then another round possible into the weekend. Highs down into the 50s for Thursday and Friday. Then in Ellensburg, scattered showers possible late today, also into Wednesday and Thursday, more possible for this weekend, turning much cooler by Thursday and Friday. Freezing lows possible into Friday morning. For Hermiston, dry today, but showers move in this evening. We'll see more of that for Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So a lot of rain in the forecast, maybe struggling to reach 60 for Thursday and Friday. Then for Walla Walla, we'll have rain chances going up into Wednesday and Thursday. The same thing into this weekend. It's going to be the same cycle of temperatures, getting pretty cool by Thursday and Friday.
Thank you, Josh. We go now to a scary and shocking scene caught on camera near Seattle. A well-known Washington State radio DJ, along with his family, barely escaped a random fiery explosion, this while they were driving on a road in Burien Friday afternoon. Maddie White has the story.
DJ John Richards had just picked up his wife from the airport Friday when a ball of some kind fell onto the road.
And the soccer parent in me is that's a soccer ball. So I actually slow down a little because I'm like, a kid's gonna run possibly behind this ball. And then within a second, I turned to my wife and I said, that's a bomb.
Richards and his wife and son were within feet of the explosion.
They saw it explode behind the car. All three of us were, it was like a movie where you're a little muffled, everything was a little muffled, and we came out absolutely in shock.
They were not injured by it, but still, it took a toll.
The headache, and we had ear ringing for a couple of days. That just went away.
Richards says his car was slightly damaged by it.
Thank God I wasn't here a second too soon.
But the emotional impact is worse.
My kid, he was really he was traumatized by it.
Now the question is, why would someone do this?
Maybe it's not funny, but it's watching Bugs Bunny, man. You see the little bombs they light, and they're like throwing them in the cartoon? I think that trained me more than any other thing.
Spooky season, an American Horror Story is back tonight. Details on that and more is coming up in your showbiz news.
There was a time when you could get a complete meal for just $5, but you gotta go way back. Well, just a Tuesday. Yes, Tuesdays at A&W, single Papa Burger combos complete with fries and a root beer cost just $5. This all-time great deal is available Tuesdays only at A&W.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% APR for up to 84 months.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
Dirty tactics and lies have become a staple of American politics. But I'm not a regular politician. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message. Dan Newhouse is spending millions of dollars to spread outright lies about me. President Trump needs an ally in Congress who will join his fight to lower taxes, fix the economy, and restore traditional American values. I've been endorsed by President Trump and the House Freedom Caucus, but more importantly, I'm endorsed by you, the people, who handed me a decisive victory in the August primary. So vote for the conservative we deserve.
Life's too short to put up with a bad bank. You have a life, places to go, people to see, and things to get done. You don't have time for banks or credit unions that don't care. You deserve better. At Yakima Federal Savings and Loan, we've served Central Washington and the Columbia Basin since 1905 with 10 branches, face-to-face service, and a 5-star app when you're on the go. So go have fun. Do what makes you happy. Life's too short to put up with anything less. Bank better with Yakima Federal.
Liberal Democrats Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas support even no questions asked late-term abortions. They oppose measures that would lower taxes, make gas cheaper, and let you take home more of your paycheck. They would make your streets less safe, raise your gas prices, and encourage your children to disrespect faith, family, and America. Seattle liberals Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas do not share your values and are too extreme for Central Washington.
KFC's fan favorite country fried steak is just $5.99 every Wednesday. It's a complete meal with your favorite sides. Best of all, it's just $5.99. Country fried steak, $5.99 Wednesdays only at KFC.
A portion of the news is sponsored by Kubota.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It's now time for some entertainment news, and we're talking about a show that's back just in time for spooky season.
But that's not all we're talking about. We're also looking at the music charts and a country singer who had the craziest night of his life. Take a look.
Country singer Brantley Gilbert had the craziest night of his life over the weekend. While Brantley was performing in Tupelo, Mississippi, his wife Amber went into early labor while she was in her husband's tour bus. Brantley was alerted and rushed off stage to help their midwife deliver their third child, a healthy baby boy, Abram Howell. Once Amber and their newborn were both safe and comfortable, Brantley went back on stage to finish the show. Talk about a multitasking dad.
Don't kill us. Kill you? I hardly know you.
Happy Halloween! American Horror Stories is back. The second part of the third season premieres today with 5 new episodes. American Horror Stories is a spin-off of the award-winning American Horror Story, featuring a different tale of terror in each episode. Experience the horror on Hulu, streaming now.
Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
For the 14th week in a row, Shaboozie's A Bar Song, Tipsy, continues to sit at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Since this is Shaboozie's first Hot 100 chart entry, the popular song ties for the second longest #1 stay among breakthrough hits, only to be topped by Lil Nas X's Old Town Road with 19 weeks at #1 in 2019. And a happy birthday to Emeril Lagasse. The celebrity chef is 65. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
I always think I'm going to start American Horror Story from the beginning, but then I never finish it. I've only seen like a couple of seasons here and there. Have you seen it? You said you like scary stuff.
I haven't seen it. I do like scary stuff, and I like that format a little bit better. It's just like a different story each time. I can get into that.
Kind of like Black Mirror.
Yes.
You don't have to watch it in order.
I like series where they're a standalone episode.
I like that too.
Yeah.
And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 6:30, we told you yesterday about the teens arrested in connection to 80 crimes. Today we're hearing from one of the victims who says he was robbed at gunpoint. That story is just ahead. And also ahead, we're breaking down the initiatives that are on the ballot for this year's general election. It's all in your next half hour.
It's the home makeover sale at Furniture Row, so the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Save on living, dining, and bedroom. Or get 60 months, no interest. The home makeover sale on now at Furniture Row.
Unlock beautiful skin with Curve Appeal's limited time special. For a short time only, enjoy any IPL, Resurfex, RF microneedling, or combo treatments. Buy one and get the next area 50% off. Treat yourself to smoother, glowing skin across your face, neck, chest, arms, or tummy. Restrictions apply. Both areas must be used in the same treatment time. Feel fabulous and look flawless. Ready to look as young as you feel? Book your appointment today with Curve Appeal.
I had surgery as a child that I barely remember. But decades later, the insurance company called that a pre-existing condition and denied me long-term care insurance. Washington State created a long-term care benefit to help millions of people like me afford the care we need. But I-2124 will take that benefit away, leaving millions with no way to get or afford long-term care. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. That's why we all have to vote no on I-2124.
As a Trump-endorsed candidate for Congress against Dan Newhouse, I knew I'd be attacked from multiple fronts. But some of the lies my opponents have been spreading are downright ridiculous. So let's settle the beef. I'm a cattle-raising, gun-carrying, brisket-loving conservative, and I believe in the American dream. I believe in lower taxes and that our farms and ranches make us prosperous and more secure. Eastern Washington deserves a representative that is honest and transparent. So vote for the conservative we deserve. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
Discover a level of comfort you never thought possible. Discover stressless seating at Meredith Furniture. Designed to harmonize with your body's natural movements, it's the premier destination for relaxation and rejuvenation. Right now, take 10% off all stressless recliners, sofas, tables, and ottomans. Meredith Furniture at 1st and Washington in front of Hobby Lobby.
Apples are the pride of Washington's agricultural economy. When India put on the retaliatory tariff, we were basically dead in the market. Thanks to Maria Cantwell stepping in and getting that tariff removed, we're up to 2 million boxes and we're climbing steadily. It's a huge difference for the industry. Maria Cantwell is effective because she works with both parties to get things done for our industry.
I'm Maria Cantwell, and I approve this message because I'll keep taking on powerful interests to get things done.
Don't put up with rotten sleep during the incredible value sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend, or get 60 months no interest and free shipping. Kick that rotten sleep to the curb, only at Denver Mattress.
Kraken, Predators, pregame at 4:30 today on Apple Valley News Now. This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
And thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, we have our last day. Is it going to be 70s today?
Yes, it will be in the 70s. Okay, so it's our last day of 70s because things are changing, things are falling, temperatures are falling for Fallelujah, and now I want to go back. Yes, and the leaves are falling too. You've probably noticed it outside just over the past week. The trees definitely look a lot more vivid. Fall foliage is looking beautiful. Yeah, a lot of leaves on the ground. I know the landscapers at my apartment complex aren't too happy about that. Does your dog love it? You just got a dog, right? Yes, she's leaf curious. Okay. That's for sure. And my cat loves to crunch on the leaves a little bit. Okay, let's take a live look right now at Pasco. This view coming courtesy of the Dust Devils. You see all the traffic flowing along just swell this morning on the freeway. A little bit later today, this will be a partly cloudy to mostly cloudy view, and then we could have some showers arriving into the evening. But first, for this morning, temperatures not feeling all that bad out there. 52 in Walla Walla, 48 in the Tri-Cities, 48 in Yakima. So you will need probably just a light jacket as you're headed out the front door, but a little bit later today, maybe you would need a rain jacket. Speaking of that, here's today's coatcast. Light jacket stuff for this morning. Should be t-shirt weather by lunchtime, and after that, at least within the Tri-Cities, but maybe breaking out the raincoat into the mid to late evening, as we will have some of those little shower chances. So for today, mostly dry for the Yakima Valley, the Lower Columbia Basin, the Blue Foothills. Obviously, that'll change into this evening, but during the day, mostly dry. Will be warm. Will be about 5 degrees above average for this time of the year. But of course, rain is on the way, and I'll show you how that rain is going to impact our drought situation, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. We start the 6:30 off in continuing coverage of a crime in Washington. Police in Seattle bust a crime ring that was allegedly run by a group of teenagers. Authorities say a month-long investigation connected the teens to nearly 80 total crimes. This includes robberies, carjackings, and shootings. Jim Nelson talked to a store clerk who said he feels lucky to be alive after he was held at gunpoint during one of those robberies.
A crime spree targeting gas stations and convenience stores comes to an end.
They should go in the jail for a long time.
Workers know the risk, but they have to make a living.
I'm the only one who in my family who's working.
Shivam helps provide for them back in India. He works at this West Seattle 7-Eleven. Police say one of many hit by at least 4 teens over the last several weeks.
This is not like a kid playing cops and robbers. These kids are very, very dangerous. And
on Friday, Seattle Police Chief Sue Rahr announced 4 arrests, an 18-year-old, 2 16-year-olds, and a 15-year-old.
Looks like they're all getting out of the car.
They had been tracked for more than a month, accused of shootings, carjackings, and at least 24 robberies, hitting fast food joints and convenience stores.
He pulled the gun on my head, took all the cash from the registers.
Shivam, just one of the victims, held up at gunpoint, toe-to-toe with the robber.
It was scary, man. I was thinking about everything, like I was about to lose my life.
They got the money from the register and even more from Shivam. He says they took his phone and wallet with about $300 inside, but he survived.
I saved my life. I gave him everything he wanted. But yeah, I feel lucky because he about to shoot me. Yeah, it was too close from me. It was almost like on my head. Yeah, it was scary.
Scary, but unafraid of getting back to work, reflecting on what could have been, but thankfully wasn't.
And all of those suspects remain in custody. Officials said formal charges are expected soon. In more crime news, the Walla Walla Regional Drug Gang Task Force, along with the Walla Walla Police Department, is asking for the public's help in finding the remaining missing firearms after a burglary last week. Officials say they attempted to find the stolen firearms, but several of them are still missing. Law enforcement is asking for any assistance, no matter how small. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Election Day is looming and both presidential candidates are hitting the campaign trail hard. We have the latest after the break.
Early warnings, accurate forecasts.
Apple Valley News now, first alert weather.
Dealer today.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Through December 31st, receive rebates up to $1,850 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
For 17 years, Senator Curtis King has delivered for you. That's why the media calls Curtis King the Republican in Olympia most likely to pass a bill. Senator King uses those relationships to do things like fund a new swimming pool in Yakima's MLK skate park and helped Heritage University in the Lower Valley grow. Curtis King helped Toppenish Astria Hospital keep their doors open, and he delivered funding for Pasco's Lewis Street project.
I'm Curtis King, and I'd appreciate your vote.
18 years, 32 years, 20 years, 35 years.
A job not only supports a family, but it gives you dignity. I'm Maria Beltran. With warehouses closing and hundreds of jobs lost, it's time we elect a fighter. Like so many of us, my family struggles to keep up with the cost of groceries and afford rent. Your family's struggles are my family's struggles. I'll work hard for you in Olympia.
Paid for by friends Maria Beltran.
You love the internet. But do you love your internet? Do frozen screens make your heart melt? Do buffering wheels give you butterflies? Didn't think so. You should meet Ziply Fiber. It's faster, it's friendlier, it's fiber. Ziply is fiber optic internet. That means no lag and no buffering. Gotta love it. Ziply Fiber. Call 1-888-GO-ZIPLY or visit ziplyfiber.com/GoZiply. Plans as low as $10 a month.
It's the last game on the road before the Kraken return home. The team's headed to Nashville, and you can watch with us for free. Kraken Predators, pregame at 4:30 today on Apple Valley News Now.
Next live, Melissa McCarthy and her husband, Ben Falcone, plus Mark Cuban from Shark Tank.
This could be our biggest deal ever.
Wheelin' and dealin'.
Wheelin' and dealin'.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Okay, let's jump into today's forecast. We'll have highs into the middle 60s to low 70s in the Kittitas Valley. I'm thinking the showers arrive around 4 p.m. in the valley. Obviously, they'll be impacting the Cascades much earlier than that. And then in the Yakima Valley, we'll have high temperatures into the low to mid 70s, 73 for Grandview and for Toppenish and for Yakima. Mostly cloudy skies, light winds overall. And by the way, I can't jump back to the Kittitas Valley, but the winds there will gust out in the north and west, upwards of 20 miles per hour. But light winds in the Yakima Valley, light winds in the lower Columbia Basin. Highs here also getting into the mid 70s, 74 in the Tri-Cities, 75 in Benton City, a little bit cooler for Boardman at 69 degrees. Partly cloudy skies here, and then we'll also see partly to mostly cloudy skies in the foothills of the Blues. Winds will also be light here, and high temperatures will also be up into the 60s and 70s. 73 for Pendleton, 74 for Milton Freewater, a little bit cooler up in some of the higher terrain of Meacham and Ukiah. Okay, so with some of this rainfall moving in, I just wanted to touch on what this is going to do to a rainfall deficit for the season. Here are the current deficits, and we're all about 90 to 100% below average for this time of the year. These numbers are inflated, though, because it's early in the new rainfall season. But after this storm system passes, we're thinking we could see about 10 to 20% improvements across the map. We'll see if that actually pans out, and I'll show you another chance for us to cut into this deficit into this weekend. I'll tell you more about that storm system coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. In political news this morning, there are 3 weeks to go in the race for the White House. Both presidential candidates held events in battleground Pennsylvania yesterday. Now, each is taking a different approach. Former President Trump's town hall went off course when 2 attendees needed medical attention. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the details.
Outside of Philadelphia and inside of a warm event center Monday, former President Trump got roughly 30 minutes into a town hall when the first medical emergency happened. An attendee was placed on a stretcher, then moments later, another person needed medical attention. Trump paused his Q&A, instead addressing the heat in the room.
For your boy. That's for your boy.
As the song Ave Maria blasted over the loudspeaker, the event continued as the second fallen attendee made their way out of the venue.
Would anybody else like to faint?
Trump touched on issues related to immigration, the Afghanistan withdrawal, and the importance of winning Pennsylvania before turning to his soundtrack for 45 minutes.
Let's not do any more questions. Let's just listen to music. Let's make it into a music. Who the hell wants to hear questions, right? Isn't that beautiful?
Across the state, in Erie, Vice President Harris went with a tactic Trump often uses, playing clips of her opponent on large monitors around the arena, slamming him for calling his opponents the enemy within.
Donald Trump is increasingly unstable and unhinged. And he is out for unchecked power.
Earlier in the day, Harris stopped by a black-owned business as she continues to chip away at both a key demographic and the #1 issue in this election, the economy. Harris inching closer to Trump when it comes to voter confidence on the economy, with inflation and interest rates down and the stock market hitting another record high.
Up next on Good Morning Northwest, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your full weather forecast, and your morning sprint is still ahead. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Struggling with persistent pain? Board-certified physiatrist Dr. Ralph Lorenzo is now caring for patients at Prosser Memorial Health's Prosser Clinic. Dr. Lorenzo brings over 30 years' experience in physical medicine and rehabilitation, specializing in the management and treatment of acute and chronic pain conditions. Start a new path in restoring your quality of life and ask your primary care provider about making a referral to see Dr. Lorenzo. This is how we care.
It's painfully obvious prices have been going up. Inflation is crushing American families, and inflation only has one cause.
Inflation in the United States is made in Washington and nowhere else. The real tax on the American people is what government spends.
And Dan Newhouse has voted for trillions of dollars in spending. As your congressman, I will vote against massive spending bills. Because Americans can't afford a new house. I'm Jared Sussler, and I approve this message.
Give snow the boot with the new Husqvarna snowblower from Liberty Lawn and Saw. Built for reliable performance year after year, Husqvarna snowblowers are easy to use on those cold winter days. Work smarter, not harder, with features like electric start and remote shoot rotator. Plus, Husqvarna snowblowers offer a 5-year warranty, 5 on the engine and 5 years guaranteed to start. So blow winter away this year. See the complete line of Husqvarna snowblowers at Liberty Lawn and Saw in West Richland.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
My name is Lauren Martin. I started to work out at Hanford in 1982, and for 20 years I worked with the fleet, repairing cranes, locomotives, cars, ambulances, fire trucks, everything. After 20 years, then I came down with a disease. There are some very, very expensive drugs, and my copay on that is $0. All I have to do is pick up the phone, and it's there.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not, and just kind of let them know what those next steps are, the timeline of how long it could take for them to get approved.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Kraken Predators pregame at 4:30 today on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Okay, so we'll have showers kind of being persistent throughout the day in the Cascades, but they should start to wiggle on over to the Kittitas Valley by about 4 p.m., into the Yakima Valley by about 6 p.m., into the Basin by 7 to 8 p.m., and then into the Blue Foothills by between 9 to 10 p.m. So here's going to be that round exiting late this evening into the overnight hours. And then this is by 8 in the morning on Wednesday. Here's another round that, well, this iteration of Futurecast says the Cascades are going to eat up a lot of this moisture. There are other models that are suggesting that maybe some more showers could survive that trip to the east of the Cascades, and then we'll have another round of some showers slated into the late afternoon or early evening. That's also going to impact us for the rest of the evening on Wednesday. Then we'll have more rounds in a Thursday. So if you tallied up everything for both Wednesday and Thursday, we're thinking maybe upwards of an inch of water in the Cascades, maybe half an inch in the Blues, between a tenth to a quarter for the foothills, and then less than a tenth of an inch for the basin and for the valley. So big time rain shadow effect in play for this storm system. But as you saw in Futurecast, there were some purples and some blues getting into the mix. That represents snow levels dropping, snow getting into the mix. And by Thursday morning to Friday evening, this is going to be our time frame of the most consistently low snow levels, anywhere between 3,500 to 4,500 feet. So places like Cabbage Hill, Meacham, Ukiah points upward. Could see a little bit of snow mixing in, but for all of our mountain passes, I'm thinking we probably won't have more than an inch of snowfall. Snow levels getting so low because high temperatures getting so low on a Thursday and Friday, low 60s in the Tri-Cities, a little bit warmer for this weekend. And by this weekend, we'll have another storm system to deal with from Saturday through Monday. It looks like Sunday is probably going to be the wettest day. Early indications are that this one could be a little bit wetter for the mountains, specifically for the Cascades, but a little bit drier for the rest of us. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Rain chances go up for Thursday and Friday as highs dip down into the 60s, maybe the first freeze of the season on Thursday night. Then for Yakima, a chance of showers over the next couple of days as highs slip into the upper 50s Thursday and Friday, lows into the upper 20s by Friday morning. Then for Ellensburg, shower chances today through Thursday, very cool Thursday and Friday, then warmer with more shower chances this weekend. Then for just talked about Ellensburg. Then for Hermiston, showers likely Thursday and Friday with highs struggling to make it out of the 50s by Thursday and Friday. Maybe some frosty or frozen conditions Thursday night. And then for Walla Walla, showers and maybe even a few thunderstorms likely for Wednesday and Thursday as highs dip down into the 50s and 60s. More showers possible this weekend. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, big savings for your Thanksgiving table. Believe it or not, planning is already underway for those Thanksgiving menus, and Wells Fargo is previewing its upcoming annual report on what one could cost you. Some good news for the main course. Shoppers can expect to pay 16% less for turkeys this year compared to last year, though ham prices are up 5.2%. Side dishes are a bit more expensive this year. Sweet potatoes saw a 4% increase, and russet potatoes are at an all-time high, up 14%.
Labor and transportation. Those are the two big things that just don't get any cheaper anytime soon. And that's really the biggest driver of seeing food inflation still continue to push higher.
And coming up at 7 a.m., more tips for saving. With your GMA First Look, I'm Trevor Alt, ABC News, Rochester, Massachusetts.
You might be used to living with your albuterol asthma rescue inhaler, but it's a bit of a dinosaur because it only treats your symptoms, not inflammation. Treating both symptoms and inflammation with rescue is supported by asthma experts. Finally, there's a modern way to treat symptoms and asthma attacks. Air Supra is the first ever dual-action rescue inhaler that treats your asthma symptoms and helps prevent attacks. Air Supra is the only rescue FDA approved to do both. Air Supra is an as-needed rescue inhaler and should not be used as a maintenance treatment for asthma. Get medical help right away if your breathing does not improve, continues to worsen, or for serious allergic reactions. Using Air Supra more than prescribed could be life-threatening. Serious side effects include heart problems, increased risk of thrush, or infections. Welcome to the modern age of dual-action asthma rescue. Ask your doctor if Air Supra is right for you.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 6:53. It's time for your 6 o'clock morning sprint. We're going to start off in your national headlines. FEMA has resumed recovery operations in North Carolina after it was forced to pause aid in several areas impacted by the hurricanes. They had to pause because of reported threats that were made towards FEMA responders. 44-year-old William Jacob Parsons was arrested for a comment he made about possibly harming FEMA employees working in the Lake Lure and Chimney Rock area. California Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a measure into law that will help prevent gas prices from spiking in the state. The new law gives the state's Energy Commission the power to set new rules around fuel storage and refinery maintenance. Labor groups representing refinery workers are opposing the new law. In your business headlines, a heads up if you plan on using the U.S. Postal Service for holiday shipments. In order for delivery by Christmas Day in the contiguous United States, USPS recommends packages be sent no later than December 21st, and that's for Priority Mail Express service. Less expensive options like first class mail must go out by December 18th, and the cutoff for ground service is December 16th. In your sports news, hockey fans, listen to this. The Seattle Kraken is taking on the Nashville Predators this evening at 4:30 p.m. This is an away game at the Bridgestone Arena in Tennessee, but you can catch it right here on Apple Valley News Now. Again, it's at 4:30 p.m. today. Now we'll go to your top 5 local stories you need to know this morning. The Yakima County Board of Commissioners votes to sign a letter requesting Coroner Jim Curtis to resign from office immediately. This comes as Curtis is under investigation for tampering with evidence, making false statements, and also for official misconduct. Authorities say he claims that someone tried to poison him with drugs for several weeks, but police say they have found evidence that he made the story up. Parts of the U.S. are recovering from the devastating hurricanes and continue to face a critically low blood supply, but the blood shortage is also affecting us statewide. The Red Cross in Washington says they've shipped blood to the southeast where people are impacted by the hurricanes, but they need to fill up the supply in the Pacific Northwest. They say they're in need of all types of blood, and you can find where you can donate up on our website. The Walla Walla Regional Drug Gang Task Force and Walla Walla PD is asking for the public's help in finding stolen firearms from a burglary last week. Officials say several of the firearms are still missing, and law enforcement is asking for any assistance, no matter how small. A man is severely injured after a motorcycle accident in Pasco. Officials say the man was driving down Road 44 when a car drove out and hit him. He flew 50 feet off of his bike and landed on pavement. Doctors say they will have to amputate his leg or he'll have to go through extensive surgeries. There is a GoFundMe page for the man. You can find that up on our website. And the Dream Building Education Foundation has been awarded a $10,000 grant, this to support ESD 123's program that helps students with complex needs with art in classrooms. And this is the second year this program is being offered. All right, check this out. Trick or treat. This next story was a trick for police officers, but it's a treat to watch.
That's right. Officers in Bay Village, Ohio were attacked by the jack-o'-lantern.
So Ohio police officers were dispatched for what was called a runaway pumpkin, and dash cam video shows a large pumpkin inflatable, you can see it on your screen, blowing across the road, and the video shows it swallowing up 2 officers.
Backup officers arrived and the pumpkin was eventually returned to the homeowner. The police department released the video, giving everyone a good laugh to get into the holiday spirit.
If I saw that, I think on the road I would just have to turn around.
Just makes me think of
It would make me laugh.
Makes me think of Charlie Brown, and I'm ready to start getting.
Yeah.
This is Charlie Brown season.
Yeah,
All the specials coming up. I'm excited.
I'd be like, am I unpunked? You know.
Yeah, where's Ashton Kutcher? Okay. Temperatures this morning: 40s and 50s. 54 in Walla Walla. 48 for the Tri-Cities. 48 in Yakima. A little bit later today, we'll have showers arriving to the Kittitas Valley by about 4 p.m. The rest of us should stay dry for now, but into the evening, we'll start to see some of that slipping down into the Yakima Valley, into the basin, and also into the Blue Foothills. And we're expecting some more showers as we head into Thursday, more wet weather in the forecast, and also will trend cooler, much cooler into the next couple days.
Enjoy your last few moments of warmer weather. Thank you guys for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find updates on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com.
Good Morning America's up next. We'll be back with your local news and weather tonight at 5. Have a good one.